world of YouTube, true crime, material for sight, and everything else. If anybody don't know on my channel, if you request something, I try and do it, or I will do it. Someone had requested me to do Vinnie Vincent Invasion. My man Dave from Vermont. Of course, back in this time, I did listen to this album, but I honestly never owned it. And I didn't get the second one. But I just listened to it last night, and I'm gonna rank the songs and everything. And I'm very impressed in this. Like I said in my last video, he did do an amazing job with Kiss. Ranking, Lick It Up, one of my favorite albums. And I would recommend to buy these albums. Now, there are some songs on both albums there. Well, on this one, you got Boys Are Gonna Rock. No Substitute. That one's a little off. I think Animals pretty good. But like I said, there's some songs that come up on albums, any album, sometimes that are just, I want to say I Want to Be Your Victim or Back on the Streets was kind of, but everything else on this album is just pure awesomeness. I mean, don't get me wrong, No Substitute ain't a bad song, but, it's one of them where you gotta, you'll be waiting for the next song type thing, but you can listen to it. I don't like to rag on bands I like, but yeah, they sometimes get into a stump of something and melody, and it just, don't sound right. But all in all, I do recommend to have this in your collection. Because there are just some songs on here and solos that are insane. I've always seen Vinnie Vincent, and I did consider him a great guitarist, of course, but I always also, when he's, I can see why now, but I would say, yeah, he's kind of lost it. I mean, say so like the David Lee Roth thing I talk about. Of course, why he got kicked out of Kiss or released was because he was demanding things. And, sometimes, like James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich, two main creators of the band, you don't go above their heads. There's sometimes some things you don't do. But, later on, James and Lars let, Kurt and Newstead pull along some songs or do some things. But, and Gene and Paul, yeah, you really don't want to step over their heads, but unfortunately that's what Vinnie did. But like I say, he is kind of wacky. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes wackiness is more pure genius. Don't forget about that. But I did see that he was off, but, it never stopped me from enjoying his playing. He was just phenomenal in his own right. And his music explains that. I mean, he went off to do right like I said, on the Revenge album, some lyrics, but no music credit. Doing 2 albums with Kiss and putting in his great work. And that's another thing I want to go over with Creatures of the Night. Some say that was a flop album. I say, F you. I don't care what anybody says. And knowing now who the... Because back then I didn't know that it was Vinnie Vincent that, replaced Ace Frehley. All I knew I remember watching an interview and they were saying that, oh yeah, Ace Frehley never did a lick on that album. We just used his face. But, I don't care, man. There's a lot of good tunes on that album that I like, especially War Machine. And when Kiss, like I say, when Gene and Paul make it heavy, I think if they would have done that a little bit more, I think in the beginning, yeah, they would have taken off a little bit better than what they did as they claim. Because, man, when they do heavy riffs, it's just friggin' phenomenal. And that's what Vinnie Vincent brought into the band and brought out in Paul. And like I say, this is a record that you should get. He's got numerous stuff in collaborations throughout time, but I'm just going over his 2 albums. And that leads me to the next one. And like I said, I never knew damn Mark Slaughter sang for him. So listening to him on this album, like, wow, he was bringing out stuff he never did in Slaughter, of course. He got in there with some rough cut vocals, to which where he's opposed to his high pitched singing. But all these songs up until that time of the year and Deeper and Deeper, them 4 songs, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good, but they didn't catch me because from 1 to 6, it's like, damn, you just are hoping for just pure powered up, and that's what the other album does. All Systems Go was that first album that well, no, this is All Systems Go, the title album. The title album gets you into that rocking up until, the song, damn it, that's No Substitute. So, it's what it is with Vinnie Vincent. Once he starts rocking, you expect him to keep plowing out that, but up until that, I mean, that time of the year is obviously a good song, because, you look up this album, that song comes up a lot. And unfortunately, I never got this album, but I will be getting this if I see it, hopefully, because I'm sure I can get it on eBay or something. But yeah, the riffs, the solos, all ripping insane. It does kind of sound, there was some songs that kind of sounded like Kiss, for Christ's sakes, like intro wise. It was like, and you could tell where he was bringing in his guitar riffs, and when he was in Kiss. And the last 2 songs, The Meltdown and Yeah, I'm Pretty Short, are instrumental. Instrumental. And, the 13th song is like going into a 30s type melody, but I like it. Meltdown is all like pretty much drumming. I don't know if he did that, because I did read about him doing some drumming in another album. But yeah, he gets it going when he gets going. So I mean, yeah, this album's a definite buy if you want that 80s feel with the ass kicking boost. You know, could just say this album, man, what you want to put in if you're going to go down the highway and just want to do a little over the speed limit type thing. Yeah, rock it. That's what I like to do. But I got to give it to Mark Slaughter too, man, because he can sing. And, I mean, I'm glad he entered into his own band also, but I wish I could have seen more of this. But, you know, can't always have what you want. But let alone, supposedly Vinnie Vincent don't like Mark Slaughter for some reason. Who knows? Because, you know, when you get two brilliant minds together, yeah, you probably get a lot of commotion and ruckus. Like you get with Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth. Sometimes you get that little commotion colliding heads. Just like David Lee Roth didn't like the song Jump. And it became one of the biggest hits of Van Halen of all time. So when you got that kind of collaboration, I can understand why some bands break up. But you know what? If I was, you know, if I could do more videos like this back in my time, I'd be telling the friggin' these bands, man, shut the hell up. Do what you do best in the studio and just leave it at that. As a fan, you know, don't break up because, oh, this, and this. You know, that's my song, that were my lyrics. You know what? It's all about the band and what you guys put together. Just like Aerosmith. You know, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry. Or Steven Tyler and, I'm gonna get ragged on for the drummer. I always forget his name. But him going at it because who made the melody for, you know, Walk This Way? Steve put in, Steve. Steve. What the fuck am I Steven? Steve put in his kick on that song, but it was supposedly sloppy. And then when, oh man, come on. Joey Kramer comes in, gave it that, boom, rough cut. Sorry, Joey. But, yeah. You know, but still, Steve came up with the damn riff. Joey made it better, obviously, as they claim. And you know what? It's not about who did what. It's about shut up, get that song recorded, and boom, now it's one of the iconic songs of rap and rock. You know, it's stuff like that. And when Vinnie and this guy, Mark, got together, I mean, this album, jeez. If they would have kept doing songs like that, like this, I mean, like I say, the 7 through 10 is just a little off. And I can listen to it, it's good. But right, when you get into the friggin' first 6 songs, it's like you're thinking this all heavy, yeah. Then you get into that, it's like, oh, come on, man. It's like, what are you doing? But don't get me wrong, if it's, you know, you can listen to it. But, anything on music, man, it's what helped me through life a lot. Getting through life. Making me, you know, once again, make me think there's more in life. And if I could do things and set an example like music does, well, then, hey, here you go. Here I am. And through a fan's point of view to the bands, you know, now it's my generations. A lot of them are gone, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Even the feud between Pantera, man. You know, shut up and get in that studio. It doesn't matter who, what, where, and Phil running his mouth like a bonehead. You know, saying stupid things that led to Dime's death, but it's like, yeah, when you get to that point, I guess, and Jesus, it's just ridiculous, though, to even think about when you get to that point and you're on top of the world. And Vinnie, too, man, on top of the world. Um, getting into one of the biggest bands on earth, but yet going in there with an attitude of, I did this and I did that, and you guys do this and do it for me. And I mean, you gotta earn your respect through that band before you can do that, just like, Kurt did and Jason Newsted. They had to earn their respect, and it took a long time, but hey, when you got two creative minds like James Hetfield and, Lars, and look where they're still ramming to this day, you gotta follow what works. You just can't take on the world and say, hey, I'm here now and I'm gonna get this. So, but I would recommend anybody to get these two albums. If you're from that era and you haven't heard them, or if you're new finding out about 80s rock or heavy metal or whatever, I'll tell you, there's a lot out there back then that does not, most of the time, not all the time, does not complete what has been done in the past. I'm sorry, there's some stuff out there that's just, man, gonna turn, just think about it. And I'm sorry, but I gotta use this as an example. Because WAAF, and even though they lost, Greg Hill, but I think a lot of the doing of also was, the new music. And I noticed AF was playing a lot of that new music. And as soon as I'd stop on that channel, I'd change. What the hell is this crap? And poof, change the channel. That's it. No. But, you got channels like WZLX still cranking out the hits of my era. And, me a long time before that place just flopped, I think. But, because even, Heather Ford on WZLX, the news girl now, team member with her name up there, but her son plays piano. And of course, he hears a song, and he's playing it for his mother. And he's like, who's this band? What's this song? Where is it? Da-da-da-da. Come to find out, that's right, it was Journey. Don't Stop Believing. So when you got kids that young, going back in time, playing out them melodies, it's like, bang, that's right. That's my era, where I came from. Back then, it was either go to school, become a prep, or quit, become a band. And then I saw it die right before my eyes, man, because people that I knew that were in bands, and, I was picking up on that and trying to get in it all just went downhill, because, I don't know, whatever they were thinking. But, other than that, man, it's just, Vinnie Vincent, I give him a lot of credit, boy, because, nowadays he just wants to be left alone. I mean, I can understand, too, because, hey, he did have a wife with 2 kids, and that woman got murdered, and that's just insane. So, I mean, even though he divorced her, I'm sure that leaves an impact on somebody, but then again, someone in that type of field and job, man, you gotta watch out who you're friggin' going with, because who the hell wants an escort, or even be known to been with an escort, because I don't care, man, that stuff like that is just beyond me. I don't know anybody who wants to do it. I don't know, whoop-de-doo, you make lots of money, but hey, think about it, people, you're doing that job, ladies. You can find the wrong person and wind up dead. And there's a lot of sick people out there, boy, that's right. But, to my man Dave in Vermont, That's for you, brother. That's what I think of these albums. I recommend anybody that wants to go back in time and look into some albums. And like I say, look him up online because he's had a lot of more work. But these two albums are his own, his creation, right? And I recommend both albums. And the soloing, man, is just, if you think of Kiss and Lick It Up, you're gonna get some definite prominent music on this stuff. So check out Mr. Vinnie Vincent, Invasion. I mean, like I said, I'll end it with this, but back in the day, man, like I said, I missed out on a lot of stuff. And when I think about it, a lot of it was music. It's like, wow, what the hell was I thinking? So booze took over my music side, and it's like, wow, what the So I didn't get to buy these albums. I mean, yeah, I heard, the first one, it was like I heard a few songs from someone else, but, like, yeah. But I never went and bought the album. So, it's like, you idiot. But other than that, folks, this is rock. This is, I would say, I won't even call him glam. But this is heavy rock in my eyes. I recategorize my music. You got rock and roll, heavy metal. And that's how it should be. You don't put thrash out there like the big thrash four of Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, all that. And Testament, stuff like that. I don't call them thrash metal, I call them heavy metal. Because they're friggin' strong. They got a lot of speed in it, but still, whatever. And then they got speed metal. It's like, it's all the friggin' same. They all get fast, they all friggin' bang your head, And this song and this album was most definitely heavy rock. Until the next video, be safe, take care. Always listen to Vinnie Vincent's Invasion. Get it. Enjoy it. I recommend it. Out.